Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Straight Talk with the County Executive, available on Spotify and airing each week on Cecil County Government social media and YouTube, where we talk all things Cecil. I'm Cecil County Executive Adam Streight, here with a member of our finance leadership team, Jessica Plato, to discuss the new enhancements to the senior and veteran property tax credit program. Welcome, Jessica.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's get to it. So when I took office in December of 2024, we've talked about my 5 strategic priorities of safe and secure communities, quality of life, strong community connections, financial stability, and sustainable growth. One of the things that we wanted to do to hit 2 of those principles of quality of life and financial stability was what can we do to help lower the tax burden on our seniors, many of whom are on pensions. I heard from a lot of folks that are seniors that, they have a limited income. Obviously, with the growing assessments, property assessments from the state, it's been a little difficult for them. And so when I sat down with you, you talked to me about and walked me through the senior and veteran tax credit program. So why don't we talk about that? Kind of give us, tell us what it is, give us a history of it.
Okay. So the senior and military tax credit program was something established by the state of Maryland back in 2020, I believe, maybe even prior to that. But Cecil County jumped on board with that legislation and generated its own processing. So originally it was very specific. You had to have been in the home for 40 years or more. It was only eligible for 5 years of max. And so each year it's kind of evolved for us. In year 1, we only had 58 applicants.
Wow.
Last year, after I came to you and, I really had my staff push it and we were up to over 1,641. So we're really utilizing the budget that was set forth.
And it's double than the year before I took over,
yep.
Correct?
The year you took over.
Over double.
The year you took over, there was 769. So we more than doubled it last year.
And how do we do that? What was we did some enhancements last year.
We did. And so, like I said, each year I go back and I read through the legislation by the state and find out what they've taken out, what they've changed. So that 40-year max went away. The 5-year limitation went away. So last year, originally throughout the course of the program, it reduced to 20 years. You reduced it to 10. You increased.
So before you had to live in your house, as well as all the other the qualifiers we'll talk about. You had to live in your house for 20
years or more.
Last year we said no.
Yep.
There's a lot of seniors that are recently retiring. They're kind of downsizing, so we cut it in half to 10 years.
We did, and we also increased the adjusted gross income. Was, I believe, $84,000 the prior year. And
that's total household income.
Total household income. So, husband, wife, what we require as far as proof of that would be your 1040 from your federal tax returns. If you don't file tax returns, because a lot of seniors aren't required to, and you're only on Social Security or even pension, we just ask for copies of your W-2s, your 1099s that you receive. If you don't feel comfortable with some of the information that is on those documents, such as Social Security numbers, we will blacken those out or white those out so that, we don't have access to those. We're more than welcome to do that.
So we increased it from $84,000 to $150,000, correct?
Yes.
What else do we do?
We reduced the years from 20 to 10. The assessed value. So originally there was a maximum assessed value of $300,000. You increase that to $500,000, so your assessed value on your property could be a maximum of $500,000, but your eligible credit amount will be based off of $400,000, and that really pulled in a lot of the people that are within those guidelines eligible. Not a lot of seniors are living in $1 million mansions, so this really pulled in a lot of those customers.
And what we found, one of the reasons we did that was because we found that a lot of seniors who had lived there for a while, again, with the increasing property assessments from the state, they weren't eligible under previously
Right.
because their assessments had gone beyond the $350,000 threshold,
Yes.
correct? So that's why we increased it to 500,000. With the first 400,000 would be eligible for the tax credit, which, as I recall, if you got the full tax credit, it was about what, $780?
Yeah, it was like 789.22 or something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
And just so everybody knows, the difference between the senior property tax credit program and the military one is that you still have to be one of the two of you still has to be 65 or older.
Correct.
Correct.
Mhm.
But with the military, as long as you or your spouse, or if your surviving spouse served, there is no requirement for how long you lived in the house.
That is correct.
That's the difference. Whereas as of last year, we went from 20 to 10 for military veterans that meet the other qualifiers. There's no qualifying years.
No.
You could have moved in.
Yeah, originally when the military one started, you had to be retired military. We have since increased that stipulation too. So now you can be active, retired, honorably discharged, disabled, or the surviving spouse. So originally there was that you could only be that one option. And again, through legislation changes, we were able to add other individuals into those options.
And so this year, what we proposed in our county budget, again, we're all sympathetic toward the rising tax assessments or property assessments from the state. And we're looking for ways that we could try to blunt that for our citizens. And one of the ways we did that was we talked last week with Andrew, was we gave a tax cut across the board: property, business tax, income tax. For this, because we're kind of tied into legislation, we're very limited at what we could do. So we decided to enhance it even further this year.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
So instead of 10 years or more, we bumped it down to 7. So 7 years or more living in your home. Obviously, it does need to be a principal residence. We should add that to it. We maintained the $150,000 adjusted gross income, but we did increase the assessed value. So the assessed value now, instead of $500,000, it's $800,000. Again, to your point, where the rising assessments coming from the state. You will still only get a maximum award on the $400,000 assessment. It's about $778, I believe, this year with you lowering the rate, but what's $10? So yeah, we made some changes to that as well. And I have been looking into some other changes that could advance and make us better going forward.
You mean next year?
Next year, yeah.
I know that when you and I had talked about this as we were deciding what enhancements, I had originally talked about, can we go down to 5 years, cut it in half again. But you reminded me of one of my strategic priorities, which is financial stability, and to make sure that what we do is sustainable. And because more people are added to this, it seems like this year, and this year we just announced it, and we're already approaching where we were last year, and we really haven't come out with this yet. We wanted to be sure that this fell within our budget, and that we didn't bite off more than we could chew.
Right.
And if we're good this year, then we can look at enhancing it even further next year. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we talked about what the benefits are to seniors and seniors who are military veterans or surviving spouses of veterans. How do they apply? A lot of folks didn't know how to apply until we went out and showed them last year. How did they do that?
So you've added a new option this year. Everything can be done online. The applications come in directly to me. The requirements, it does not let you go forward with your answers if you don't answer what is needed. So anyone who was from last year automatically in the system received a purple form in the mail. It then says you don't have to give us your driver's license anymore because we already know that you've been approved for that. it says that the only thing that we need from you is your salary. And so we sent a letter out with those. The majority of the ones that we've gotten back are probably those. We did a color coding system this year, as you can see, and that's really for my staff to know who is military, which is green, seniors are yellow, and then we can track to be able to provide information to you or finance or whomever wants to know exactly where we are with those numbers. And so you can get paper applications in the office, in the lobby downstairs at the administration building. We can email them to you if you prefer paper. We can mail them to you. Just give us a call and we'll send that out to you.
And for those that wish to do it securely online on our
Yes.
new county website, it's cecilcountymd.gov. You can go right there. We have actually a little icon for it, and it takes you straight there, and you can fill it off, fill it up, or I'm sorry, fill it out
Yes.
online.
Yes.
You know, as we're winding down on this episode, last year, like we just talked about, a lot of folks didn't know about this. So we went on a county-wide tour, hit
Yes.
every town, every area of the county that we could think of. We went to churches, we went to libraries, we went to town halls, and folks really responded to that. And what we were able to do was they brought all the information that they need. Now let's talk about what they need to bring if they want to come for this year. We can actually get them qualified before they left.
Sure can.
So this year, you and I and Andrew and some members of the finance team are going to be going out again, starting in a few weeks, to every area of the county. We'll post the dates and the locations on our website and on the county social media, particularly Facebook. And we'd love to see you there. And Jesse, what do they need to bring with them?
So really just if you have not been part of the process before, we need proof of your age, which would just be a driver's license or some kind of identification. If you are in the military and you're applying for that option, you would need your DD 214 and then your income. So again, 1040 from federal tax returns and or your 1099s from Social Security Administration, and any kind of pension that you have. We are able to make copies at any of the locations that we were at. We can look up your assessed value and your years living in your home for the senior option. Right there, we bring our laptops, and yeah, most of them are approved right then and there.
This has been really near and dear to my heart for the last couple of years, and I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited that more seniors are taking advantage of this. You know, they built Cecil County, and they gave us so much, and it's only right for us to give back and to help them. So that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Jessica, for being with us and looking out for our seniors. I'm Cecil County Executive Adam Streight, host of Straight Talk with the County Executive, available on Spotify and Cecil County Government social media and YouTube, where we talk all things Cecil. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and share. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.